Schaeffer, the choice of home track heroes.
For generations, fans of IndyCar could only dream of stepping into the cockpit and feeling the rush of going wheel to wheel at over 200 miles per hour. Thanks to the latest in sim racing technology, we can get one step closer. Talented, fearless drivers battle it out in virtual race cars to claim supremacy at some of the world's most demanding tracks. This is the RIL, Schaeffer's IndyCar Series, presented by RaceBurst.
It's a new day, a new season, and we will see a new champion for the RIL Schaeffer IndyCar Series at the end of this season. Hello again, everyone. I am Gary Gatso with RaceBurst, and welcome to the opening round of what surely will become one of the most contested championship campaigns in series history. Joining me once again this season, if you don't find him here with me on Wednesdays, you'll find him over on jalopnik.com as one of their contributors. Please welcome back to the booth, Ryan Eric King. So, hey, Ryan, we have a long way to go before we crown yet another series champion on March 8th in Kansas. But eyeing over this lineup of a lot of returning drivers and new drivers, who should we keep a lookout for as this season rolls on for favorites for this season's championship?
Oh, man, it's always, well, let's just say form is temporary, class is permanent. And the class of the field last year is always the drivers you keep an eye out for going into the start of any new season. The championship standings might have everyone on 0 points, but we all know the guys who were on top last year have the highest chances of being on top this year.
That is true, but we might have some surprises that show up this year. Real quick, let's take a look at where we things left off here with the RIL. Here is the last race we were. Of course, that was the Heineken Financial 300 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Caleb Binsey did everything he could to win the championship, but it wasn't just quite enough, as Nicholas Johnson did just that much more to earn the #1 badge for this season. And there you see Binsey, Johnson, and Coogan on the podium there at Indianapolis. And that then brings up the points from last season. Here are the points from last season. Nicholas Johnson with a 20 or so, it's about a 20-point lead over Caleb there at the end. And Bruno Miranda snuck in at third. Dakota DeMade there in fourth. Gavin Sanders fifth. But just like the Cubs like to say, when the spring season starts, the next season starts, everybody has a chance now. Everybody is reset back to zero. Let's take a look at, as we got practice, it's getting ready to run down. Gavin Sanders is fastest in practice at 211.525 miles per hour. But let's take a look at this season's schedule really quick as qualifications are getting ready to start. Of course, we are going to open up here at Homestead Miami Speedway, where we'll do 133 laps tonight. Then next week, off Dakota for 40 laps. Then we head on over on the virtual jets over to Twin Wing Motegi for 120 laps there on the oval at Twin Ring. And then we come back after a little bit of a break for the holidays and whatnot. And then we actually get to do a special qualifying show as they will move up the Indianapolis 300 on the schedule from a season-ending race to actually kind of where it sits on a regular IndyCar schedule, about the 4th or 5th race every season. So we will watch qualifying, then we'll go to Indianapolis for 120 laps. Then after that, we'll go to Montreal as we get on the Montreal road course there. And then hang on to your butts, as January 25th, we go to Talladega, where we're going to be doing heat races. And I don't really quite know the rules of that event quite yet, but if the action is anything like we saw Indy fixed last season at Talladega, this is going to be one heck of a race. Then to New Jersey for the first time, then the Monza, then to Darlington. That's going to be pretty interesting. Indy cars have not been there since the late 50s. Road America. Then we will do a doubleheader at Kansas to close out the season. First on the infield road course and then on the oval. That is going to constitute your Schaeffer IndyCar Series winter 2022-2023 season. Back on the racetrack as qualifying is now underway. You'll like this. When Homestead has had more alterations than the Kardashian, so there are more IndyCar. There are many IndyCar records here. In fact, IndyCar has really 4 records here at Homestead. So you have the kart pre-98 original mini Indy configuration. Remember, it was a flat version of Indianapolis here when it was first built? Well, yeah, that was had 4 distinct corners. That was a track record there set by Paul Tracy, 96 with a 198.590. Then when they rounded the corners out, but they just kept it flat. Kart was still here in 98. Greg Moore has that track record. They boosted it up to 217.541. Then when the IRL came here, IRL had a couple races on the flat course, and that record belongs to Tony Kanaan, set in 2003 with a 203.560. And then the banked, which is actually still the official track record to this day of the banked track as you see it. Sam Hornish, 2006, 218.539 miles per hour. Also, the IndyCar record for the fastest 300-mile race was held here. That was held by Dario Franchitti, set in 2009. No cautions for 201.420 miles per hour. That's an entire 300-mile race. And the all-time race winners here in IndyCar history is we got Hornish, Scott Dixon, Dan Whelan. Pretty much they all dominated this place. Each have 3 wins. Ironically, Michael Andretti has 2 wins here, and both are on the mini Indy configuration. So apparently no love on the big brother, but on the little brother, he could win no problem here. So there's no penalties for tonight. We're starting off fresh. And we got about 2 minutes left in qualifying. As you see from the track records with these IR18s, we're a little bit off the pace. Dakota made I don't know if let's not call him the career, but we call him the pole meister, the gas man, so to speak. Not the career pole leader here in the RIL, but definitely fast in the ovals. Currently on the pole with a 210.159 is his, and I've got hanging quotes here. You should hear me hanging the quotes in the wind. Teammate Caleb Bency, 210.104. And then what we got here in third, wow, it's is that Hugo Gallas? Yes, Hugo Gallas, who is not known for being an oval meister. 209.936 miles per hour. James Watson bringing the whole TWR squad with him today, 209.842. And Craig Forsyth there, we watching him on the screen right now for the Ford E team. 209.832. That is your top 5. Your defending champion Johnson 6, Matt Houston 7, Bruno Miranda the Storm P8, Isidro 9th, and Logan Spath in P10. That is your top 10 at the moment. Seen anything striking you, or is it pretty much what you expected?
Expected. It's not about where you start, but it's about where you finish. And all the contenders that I think we're going to have this season are near the front of the field within the top 5 rows.
Currently sitting on the bubble about 30 seconds ago. He was here last broadcast that we had here at Homestead, or actually on Race First covering the RIL. Of course, Tommy Cook, you were on assignment at Portland covering the big boys, the real racers there in Portland for the Portland IndyCar race last season. And Tommy Cook here joined me in the booth. He is currently 33rd and on the bubble. And I think everyone's turned time. And I think he is actually going to hold on to that. He edges out Will Weiser, Dan Rabarak, Ty Richter, DL Lemon, Angelo Espo, Andrew Zeller, Joseph DeCidro. And those are all DNQs. So now we're lining up and getting ready to go racing. And just like that, That's how fast things happen here in the RIL. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup from Homestead Miami Speedway. And if you want, you can help me with this year if you want. He's like, I don't know about that. Well, let's go ahead and take a look here at your starting lineup. On the pole, Dakota DeMay with a 25-3. Caleb Vinci, the 21 P2. Hugo Gallas, like I said, not the Oval Meister, but he is P3 for tonight. And then the 57, James Watson in his regular 39 in P4. Craig Forsyth, 5th. And their defending champion, the number 1 car, Nicholas Johnson there in 6th. Moving on, Matt Houston, the boss man, P7. Bruno Miranda, the Storm, P8. Nicholas Isidro. Normally he's a mid-pack or he is an end-of-line guy, and he is right up front. So let's watch this guy tonight. I believe he does pretty well here at Homestead. Isidro 9th, Spath 10th. Spath actually would be my teammate in the Lionheart Series, Speedway Series next season, so I'll be watching him. Nick Dwornik, I hope I'm saying that right, P11, a newcomer to the series. Gavin Sanders, multi-time winner here in the RIL, starting 12th. Moving on, Charles Grove, 13th. Justin Miller, we want to watch him. He normally does really good on the ovals. 14th. Shane Coogan, we definitely want to watch him. He's the Lionheart Speedway Series Rookie of the Year, starting 15th. Frankie Franchica, 16th. Dan Miglin, 17th. And Zachary Flaum in 18th. And my overlay is getting slower and slower and slower. Nate Seaver, 19th. Matt Crockrow, 20th. We want to watch Nate. He's coming deep in the field. Christopher Reese, 21st. Cody Claiborne, 22nd. Hayden Herman, 23rd. JJ Wang, 24th. And they're getting slower and slower. There it is. Pete Donchak, 25th. Hunter Ingram, 26th. Neil Lesher, 27th. Rodrigo Munoz, his teammate there to Hugo Gallas in the 99, 28th. Christian Jasper, 29th. Drew White, one of the Oval Meisters, coming from deep in the field in 30th. And hopefully we get these last 3 drivers out of the way before they get into turn 4 and start on me, because my overlay's dragging now. Normally when you get a lot of cars, it starts dragging this overlay. There we go. Corey Mott, 31st. Blake McClung, 32nd. And Tommy Cook, as mentioned, on the bubble there for 33rd, and that is your 33-car field.
Yep, 46 attempted to qualify.
Here we go. And actually, I'm going to, there we go. Getting ready to go green here at Homestead, and we are underway. All 2 wide going through turns 1 and 2, getting a little single file down the backstretch. Still 3 wide in some places down the backstretch. Look at James Watson. He is a man on a mission, moving up to P2, P3, now side by side with Caleb Benzie. Caleb on the high side, where it's a little bit faster, holds on to the position, and James Watson moves up to 3rd. Well, good run for him to start this race off.
It was largely clean. We had a car in the wall further back, but no flag.
Who'd you see on the wall? Oh, here comes Caleb down the backstretch. Going to take a look on the inside. Dakota's going to let him on by, and we are caution on the racetrack now. What happened? Oh, there it is. That is Corey Mott. Nope, not Corey Mott. Matt Cosgrove. He is in that Gallagher Penske livery. And he has a right front that is flopping in the wind here. Let's go back in the Wayback Machine and see possibly what happened here with him.
Yeah, because there was an incident further back where we had
JJ
Wang push up into the wall.
So here it is, and that is with, I think that might be Hayden Herman down there underneath him. Hayden kind of washes up, puts him into the wall. And then I think we might have had Bruno Miranda get in the back of him. Let's see. There was another car involved, And I want to get the camera angles here. So here he is. Yeah, he just pushes right up into him. Okay, so, yeah, a couple cars there.
Yeah, there was a separate incident.
That might be J.J. Wang there. And whoever was in the, I think that was that the Target? Chip Ganassi?
Yeah, that was Hunter Engrave.
Hunter Engrave. And so those guys are going to have to probably hit pit road to get a look at. Let's join back live TV here and move back up to the front where we have your leader, Dakota the Maid. Give you an update here on the top 5 real quick, as we are still a little ways to go before going green. I think the lights are still on the pace car at the moment. Yes, so we have at least another lap. And there's your top 5 right now. DeMade, Bency, Watson, Johnson, and Hugo Gallas. Down 2 spots, but still hanging on. Nick Isidro, I told you to watch this guy. Did I not? He is already up 3 spots, and there he is on the backside of Gallas, and I'm sure that he will want to try to work around Gallas. Gallas showing in the old Ganassi NTT data livery from a couple seasons ago. Craig Forsyth currently back in 7th. He's down 2 spots. Matt Houston down a spot, holding on to 8th. Bruno Miranda, the Storm, he is in 9th at the moment. And Gavin Sanders moving up 2 spots to 10th. Justin Miller, we had told you to watch him as well. He is up 3 spots to 11th. That is your midfield report at our upper midfield report at the moment. But we still have 32 cars on the racetrack. Matt Cosgrove currently showing in the pits under repair, and I think he's retired for the day. So real quickly, first yellow didn't take very long to get here, and that's kind of what we were talking about in the pre-race. Is you thought we might be in for a long night?
Yeah, because we saw it first time through 3 and 4. This track might look symmetrical on paper, but there's something about 4 here at Homestead that there's just a lot of pushing forward. The cars get pulled up towards the wall.
Oh, getting ready to go back green, bringing the field down to the restart will be Dakota the Maid. Right now, the pace car is still on the track. It will give him command of the field right here. Currently, the field is all his command, and he is gone already well before the Geico restart zone because we're IndyCar and we can. And we are back underway here at Homestead, and here comes Nicholas Johnson looking to the high side on his boss, trying to get the position here to move up to 3rd. Battle for the lead forming right now. We got a battle still for P2 and 3 at the moment, all over the place here on the restart. We'll watch this battle for the lead. The Maid and Bency side by side through 3 and 4. And Bency will get the momentum off the high side. Big player here. Momentum on the high side here.
Yeah, because like what I said about turn 4 and how it's a bit deceiving. You can usually get a run off the high side because if you're the guy on the inside, you usually have to lift to leave that room for the guy on the outside.
Nick Johnston now, your defending champion. He is right there in that number 1. Moving up to 3rd. James Watson back to 4th. Hugo Gallas sitting there still in 5th. Isidro getting challenged at the moment by Craig Forsyth. Forsyth is a previous winner here in the RIL at Michigan. Actually, I think it was one of my very first broadcasts when I was in the booth. I think he won that one. It was a very close race at Michigan that season. He is back to join us on Wednesday nights here, at least for a little bit, trying to run down Isidro. Joining this battle very shortly will be Bruno Miranda. Justin Miller, 3 wide going to the 1. Look at this, Gavin Sanders, Justin Miller, and Matt Houston. Matt Houston, the smartest one of the group, backs out of it and lets everyone on by.
It's still early doors. You don't want to play games.
So we're looking at about 45 laps to the stint here. We've already got a little yellow time, so that will kind of like push the first stop possibly near lap 50 thereabouts. And that's just for those that really aren't doing any economizing right now, mainly your leaders, that they are in clean air. Those a little bit further back in the pack where they're unable to run at full blast because of the aero push. They're saving some fuel, but just really ruining the tires more than anything. Here's Justin Miller underneath Gavin Sanders down into 1. 2x2 in front of him as well. Let's take a look at those other battles that we got going on. Here's Bruno Miranda around Craig Forsyth. Move Miranda up to 7th. Forsyth back down to 8th. Now Miranda looking at Hugo Gallas. Nick Isidro has moved his way around Gallas. He's now up to 5th. Nicholas Johnson side by side with Dakota DeMade for P2 off of corner number 2. Johnson is not quite going to get cleared on that one. And they are crowding each other a little bit. In the 3 and 4. Dakota on the high side. Slide job by Nick Johnson, but he gets the position. And everyone's setting the tone how they want to be raced for the remainder of the season here tonight.
Yeah, and if you want to get moves done, you got to get them done now, because once the tires start to fall off, you're not going to have that grip to try some of these passes.
Caleb Bency, your leader, by 1.5 seconds over Johnson. And really, he is real close to breaking this draft. While you're watching the action here at home, thanks for watching tonight, folks. According to YouTube Analytics, 37% of you are not subscribers, which is actually, it's pretty good, considering when we started doing this announcement, it was about 50-50. Now only 37% of you are not subscribers. So let's change that right now. We have reached our goal, believe it or not, of reaching 1,000 subscribers. But we're not going to rest there. Never. Help us keep this positive momentum. If you enjoy Race First coverage of the RIL Schaeffer IndyCar Series and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. Turn that red button gray for us, will you? And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future Race First iRacing broadcasts and the next RIL broadcast, which will be next week when we move on to COTA and we are caution on the racetrack.
There was an incident in turn 4. I'm trying to see who it was.
Yeah, I'm not seeing who it is either. But whatever it is, it might have been they got a spinner and they recovered.
Okay, so it looks like Corey Mott came together with Rodrigo Munoz.
All right, let's go back in time. Corey Mott in that Target car. Okay, here we go. Mott down low, Munoz up high. Yeah, and he just runs into the side of him. And I don't think Munoz, maybe a little the tap of the wall. Nothing that a new front wing won't be able to fix. Hopefully he's not too damaged. But unfortunately, that's going to bring him back to the end of the field. So what do you think, though? I mean, we got 16 laps of green flag racing, or better part of about 13 laps of green flag racing in that stint. Do we pit or do we stay out? And I think a lot of the back markers are coming in while the leaders are realizing that track position is everything.
Yep, track position is king here, and if you have the position to lose, you shouldn't give it up. We're not far enough in the stint where the new tires and the full fuel load is worth it.
Let me show you a couple of our other big movers of the day. There is Blake McClung. He is now, I believe he's in that, is he in that Walker Racing Valvoline livery? Yeah, there he is. He's from the 90s. He is currently up 12 spots to P20. And also joining him with 12 spots increased on the day, Drew White, who is just going to get ready. He's right behind that green car. There he is. One of the representing the Rainbow Warriors with the Thomas Watson or the James Watson Racing kind of spin on it. But those are your biggest gainers now. They're up both 13 spots now. Up front, your biggest among the leaders is Justin Miller. He's up 5 spots there to 9th. But everyone now just kind of touring around, trying to save fuel. This will now push probably the first stint now a little bit closer to lap 60, where we see these guys probably dumping into the pits next.
Yeah, and you could probably, with stop on 60, and you could probably, maybe with enough cautions, make it a 2-stop race.
133 laps here of Homestead. We're watching Christopher Reese as he brings the Lara IR18 in for some early service, down and away nice and easy. He'll join the tail end of the pack. Lights are still on the pace car. If you're just joining us, this is Race First coverage of the RIL Schaeffer IndyCar Series, coming to you from Homestead Miami Speedway, where we've only completed 18 of 133 scheduled laps. Got 2 caution periods so far. If you're enjoying Race First broadcast of tonight's race, make sure you support the channel by liking tonight's broadcast, share it with a friend, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell so you're notified about future RIL events. All of that good stuff. We need you to do it. Thumbs up. And of course, subscribe and notify. Now lights are out on the pace car, so we will go green next time by. One of the things that I do notice about when you do race at Homestead, that the caution periods just seem to last probably a lap longer than they really need to.
Yeah, I think it takes into account the access roads for some reason, the code for the pace car lap. So it assumes the people who choose to pit do need more time, but I don't think that's the case.
Nope. Good showing tonight. Actually, we had more than 33 cars. I think we had closer to 42 cars actually took time to qualify. 33 make the race. So I do want to thank those folks that showed up to attempt the qualifying.
Yeah, 46 put in a time in qualifying. That is impressive.
Very. RIL, very easily. If you're interested in the RIL, make sure to search it out. The Revolution Indy League Schaeffer IndyCar Series on iRacing. Jump into the Discord, sign up. Very easily one of the top 5, probably one of the top 3 fixed IndyCar series on the entire service. Green flag in the air, Caleb Binsey underway, and we are back racing here at Homestead. 19 of 133 in the books. Now 20 of 133 in the books, as we still got a long way to go, folks. Here's a battle for 9. Charles Grove underneath Hugo Gallas. Couldn't quite keep it on the bottom. Gallas going to have the momentum up top. Both these guys start battling. It's just going to open the door for Shane Coogan right behind him. He's a former RIL winner. Excuse me. He's also the Lionheart Speedway Series Rookie of the Year. And right behind Shane is the boss man, Matt Houston. There he is. Keeping a spot there in the top 15. Drew White in a battle with Frankie Francica, ooh, he decided to do that one up high. Here's Hayden Herman. I have never heard of that guy before. I'm just kidding. He is now involved in this battle right there as well. Hayden kind of breaking the mold of the black Race First affiliated cars, going white, which I am all for.
Yeah, it's a clean look.
Right behind him, side by side, Miller and Miglin and Spath. Miglin getting a run on the high side in the Newegg, the Lara. Down the back front stretch, getting the position.
Yeah, like we said under caution, track position is key here. And it takes so much effort to try to gain a position, but it's so easy to lose it. You don't want to be in a position where you have to be passing cars. You want to be ahead of the opposition.
Yeah, let's keep watching this battle. We're going to go 3 wide here if we're not careful. Yeah, we are going to go 3 wide. Hugo Gallas goes, lets him on by, down low and up high. Move Charles Grove now up to 9th. And Justin Miller, who's already been in, I think, a couple 3 wide situations already today, going into turn 1. Move Justin Miller up to 8th. Here comes Charles Grove side by side with Miller. Grove, one of the newcomers this season. Nick Isidro up to 4th. Side by side with Bruno Miranda. Currently in the eye of the storm at the moment. And he gets the pass to move Isidro up to 4th. I think this is one of Isidro's more favorite tracks. Doesn't leave himself much room on exit, though. He is on the Larson line way up top there. Bruno gets the spot back, moving Bruno back up the fourth. Sidro, nope, going to take a look here at the high side. See if he can get a run on Bruno. Not quite. Dropping the fourth gear, keeping the momentum up. Here comes Gavin Sanders. Kind of reset the field. We have not seen much from Caleb because he's kind of set sail. He's got a leader by about a second now over Johnston. There is Johnston, the number 1 defending and reigning and defending champion, currently P2 in this race. The Dakota made P3 as he started on the pole. He is keeping an eye on these guys right in front of him. Isidro up to P4 as he has worked his way around Bruno Miranda. So it's Gavin Sanders. Gavin Sanders now around Miranda, and now he's taking a look at Isidro.
Yeah, and it seems like because of how aero-tight the cars are, if you're side-by-side with someone, you're going to lose a lot of time and, lose even more ground to Caleb Bency and bring the people in the back closer to you. Yellow's out.
Caution, 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 and got Logan Spath in the wall, and he goes ahead and resets. Let's take a look here and find out what happened. Oh, interesting. Let's go ahead and
strange incident between Spath and Miglin.
Yeah, let's go. Let's actually ride along with Miglin. Let's go back a little bit further in time, see if maybe something else set this up. And here we go. Ooh. Ouch. I don't think he judged I don't know what happened there. It's like the closing rate all of a sudden. What did you see?
Yeah, they were just running pretty much nose to tail, and maybe Miglin didn't anticipate that Spath was going to, let off a bit early to try to slow down and make the corner.
Something happened also to Craig Forsyth. He is now down a lap. Not sure what happened with him. He was up among the leaders very early on. Now he's down a lap. So now we're now watching live TV, and the leaders are coming down pit road. And all those that have just pitted the previous caution, they're staying out. So we now have two different strategies brewing at this racetrack.
Yeah, and the cars in the alternative strategy are fast drivers. The cars who stayed out: Gavin Sanders, Bruno Miranda, Shane Coogan, and Matt Houston. Those are very competitive guys. So,
yep. And then the car, and actually he was also not involved, but he was in the neighborhood of that last incident. Nate Siefker, he is in the number 2 car, and he has moved himself up to 5th. He has the freshest tires of this group, along with Nick Dwornik there in that yellow 84. He is also 14 laps on this set of tires. So we have those that are on 31 lap old tires from the start. That is your top 4, or actually 5 of your top 6. That is those guys. Then you have everyone that kind of pitted in the last caution, and they're around 14, 15, 13 laps on this set of tires. I'm looking at the number up and down on timing and scoring. So they're all in the same neighborhood within 2 laps of one another. And then you have everyone that just stopped. That's from 16th Caleb Bency on back. So we have 3 strategies that are currently unfolding right now at the moment here tonight on the RIL opener here in the Schaeffer IndyCar Series at Homestead Miami Speedway, where we only have 32 of 133 in the books, laps that is, but strategies now. We have 3 different strategies at play currently right now on the racetrack.
Yeah, and this is kind of one of the unspoken skills that you need to have in racing, where you need to keep a mental Rolodex of the strategies that the other drivers are on. You want to put yourself in a position where you could take an advantage and get around the other guys. So say the guys who stayed out and have more worn tires, maybe you want to try to go around the outside. have a bit of trust that, when they start pushing up the track,
yeah.
just let off the gas and let you by.
Not so many people like to, and I think a lot of this is encouraged by the Indy Fix series, which really is like a sprint race, is getting past. No one likes getting past. It's like negative connotation getting past. There is absolutely nothing wrong, especially if your strategy calls for you to run a certain pace or pit on a certain lap, about getting past. If you're following your own strategy, you have your own plan. As long as you're running your pace, doesn't matter if you get past or not. So that's kind of my take on that stuff. And of course,
that's exactly how you should do it. Because if you need to run a certain pace, sometimes racing another car hard will cost you time in the long run.
And I don't give much credit to the NASCAR ranks very often, but if there's one driver that I can think of over the history of NASCAR that would allow very easily, just let the guy on by. Mark Martin was that guy. He was like, you know what, we're 20 laps into the race, you're all over my back bumper, why don't you go right on ahead? Chances are at the end of the day, Mark Martin's the one up in the top 5, and the guy that passed him a little bit earlier, he has worn out tires and he's, further in the back. That's also a little bit of Rick Mears involved in that one as well. But nothing wrong with getting past. Some people are like, oh, he's in trouble. No, he's just, maybe he just needs clear track in front of him. Any number of things. But getting ready to go green here, coming to lap 34 of 133. Gavin Sanders, your leader. Bruno Miranda, P2. Shane Coogan, P3. Matt Houston, P4. None of these cars have pitted quite yet. They probably are now looking at about half tanks, I'm willing to bet. So they still have a little ways to go before we see them pit. Car with the freshest tires in this group right here is Schaeffer. We're going to watch these guys. They go green, and we are underway. Good start by Gavin. Down the front straight, weaves a little bit, tried to break the draft, and now into one. Bruno Miranda right behind him.
Yep, if you're the guys who stayed out, just don't try to race each other. Line up, try to pull away.
Check this group out behind Neil Lusher. Holy cow, Zach Flaum, Neil Lusher, they're all side by side, 2 by 2 behind them. Cody Claiborne up high. It's like a big traffic jam back there. Holy cow, look at that. These guys with fresh tires want to go. They want to go now, and they're all side by side. I mean, almost 5 deep right now.
Yeah, if you're on fresh rubber, no time's better than now because of how much the aero wash affects you at Homestead. The field naturally thins out. The field is never going to be closer together than it is on a restart.
Oh, Drew White almost into the side of Isidro. He had the lift. It's going to open the bottom side open for James Watson. James Watson, he's going to be racing his boss man right there. And Watson gives the position back a little bit further back up to the front. We're looking Justin Miller and Rodrigo Munoz. That Backfire Motorsports team. Check out Nick Johnson. 3 wide, go to the 1. Oh, guys.
I know these cars have wings, but I don't recommend doing that.
That's when you get on your radio and you're like, send it. And he's trying to keep up with Caleb, and Caleb is just right now he's side by side with an associated teammate, so I don't imagine he's going to race him too hard. And he needs to keep up with Caleb because Caleb's just putting more and more track distance there. Caleb getting the run underneath Neil Lusher. Excuse me, sorry Neil, didn't mean to butcher your name. And gets the position there. Move Caleb up to 10th. And now he's looking at the underside of Zach Flaum. And they're side by side through 3 and 4. And Caleb drew up the racetrack just a little bit, gets the position. He is clear. And now Caleb Bency up to 9th. So that whole furball back there has allowed Caleb Bency to kind of pop out and get himself a couple positions over Nick Johnson, who is still stuck in traffic back in 13th.
Yeah, and we've seen how strong Bency has been when he has been in the lead. And seeing how close the championship went last year, if you're Nicholas Johnston, you know every point matters, even though this is the season opener. Yep.
Every point matters. Back up to the front, there is Gavin Sanders with a 2.5 lead over Bruno Miranda. He has broken the draft, and he is on his own at the moment. There you see The inaugural FIS Series champion right there. And FIS coverage will resume on Race First here in January. Check us out. That'll be back on Tuesdays. Right behind him is Bruno Miranda. Just a second and a half back. He's right at the very end of that draft envelope. So really, he breaks it down this front straight, and he won't be able to benefit any of the draft. Shane Coogan holding off Nate Schaeffer. Schaeffer with those fresher tires. Schaeffer up to the top. Coogan taking the middle lane. This is progressive banking. And Schaeffer gets a run down the backstretch into the draft, down to the low side. Into 3 and 4. He's on the lower banking there. Coogan up on the higher banking up top. Still side by side down the front stretch. I know both of these drivers pretty well. There is no give in either one of these guys.
Yeah, they're gonna fight each other, even though it might not be in their best interest.
Oh, look at the run, Shane on the top. Oh, the cars are so happy, and also they're just pushing. And you see the back ends, they're all over the place. But they're pushing. That's the major thing. And he had to lift just briefly. Otherwise, he probably would have had an incident there with Schaeffer. Schaeffer gets the position, moves Schaeffer up to third. He is on 27-lap-old tires. The leaders in front of him, Gavin Sanders and Miranda, on 44. Let's give you some lap times here, as a matter of fact. Gavin last time by a 25.9. Bruno Miranda a 25.9. Schaeffer a 26.2. I think a little bit of that has to do with Schaeffer racing Coogan. So we'll see next time by what Schaeffer's lap times are, if he gets the car collected a little bit more. Here we go. Sanders another 25.9, and Bruno Miranda 26 flat. Schaeffer at 26 flat. So really, Bruno and Gavin aren't really giving up much to Schaeffer there, back with the newer tires.
Yeah, I think we've hit
Drew White. Drew White, there it is. I just saw it. Drew White. We got a car back. We got Cody Claiborne backwards on the backstretch. We are in caution. And I saw it forming, and I couldn't get the camera back to it. But let's go back and watch this. It was Drew White. I know it was Drew White. I saw because you can see his car. But he and Cody just they pushed each other to where they had no place to go. And let's watch this here from get a couple of better angles here.
It seems like they just drove right into the same piece of racetrack.
Yeah. And really of them, neither one of them looked too worse for wear, although Cody goes straight to a tow. He probably could have driven that one back, but he might be done for the day. He might just call it. But the leaders are in, and so that's the big thing, is now we're going to turn the lead of this race over to even Schaeffer, who was on those slightly newer tires. So everybody on that second strategy looks like they are coming in with the first strategy guys, and everybody that just pitted here recently are back out now. Caleb Binsey now is back up to your leader. Nick Dwornik, he is staying out for 31-lap-old tires. He is now up to P2. Nick Johnston, currently with 17-lap-old tires, along with Caleb Binsey there in P3. Justin Miller, Dakota DeMaid, Frankie Franchica, Hugo Gallon's doing a great job of hanging down in there in the top 10. Craig Forsyth, at some point, he was a lap down. And I still don't know what happened to him, and he was in the pits getting repaired. And he had...
Forsyth had a disconnect and was kicked from the server and came back in.
How in the heck is he P8? I don't know, but he had a disconnect, and he is back in this race. He had a fortunate that there was a caution in there, and then he got a wave around, it looks like, and then right then back here he is. There's Christian Jasper, P9. Hayden Herman, the unknown Hayden Herman, the unknown driver. He is currently P10. He's worked his way up pretty good. And then everybody just pitted right there, followed by Gavin Sanders up to P11. So now we're back to two strategies on the racetrack now. We have everyone that just pitted and everyone that's been out for about 20 laps now. Other than Nick Dwarnick, the rookie, he's in his first race here in the RIL, here in that yellow number 84. He is 32 lap old tires. He started back in P11. He's up 9 spots. And he has just been casually keeping around all day. Good pace. Kept keeping himself out of trouble. Still early, though. I mean, we're not even to lap 50 yet. But a lot of stuff can still happen. But with 32 lap old tires now, he has worked his way up to P2. Again, track position is everything here.
Yeah, it's track position's everything. And with these alternate strategies, you want to be in that leading strategy the last time we have one of these cautions.
And we'll see if we're getting ready to go green. Yes, we are getting ready to go green. Once again, if you're just joining us, you're watching Race First coverage of the opening round of the RIL Schaeffer IndyCar Series, coming to you from Homestead Miami Speedway, where Caleb Binsey has now resumed the lead. We're 49 now, coming to 50 laps completed of 133. Thanks for joining us. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, don't miss out on the next RIL race, and we are green flag underway, and we already looking at the back there. Gavin Sanders wasting no time. They're 3 wide going to the 1. Oh, and look at the run that Coogan has. And we're cautioned already. And it's Munoz. Coming to green. We might have had a bit of a checkup situation. Yes, we did. Here's Munoz. He gets kind of bumped into there by Charles Grove. And, he ends up taking out J.J. Wang in the process. So we are back under caution as a very typical thing that you see in the IndyCar series, where we have these accordion multi-car wrecks. And I'm wondering a lot of that has to do with familiarity with the car or the series, because that was Charles Grove, newcomer. He's been up with the leaders, and he's in that 07, but this is his first race, and might have misjudged that start.
Yeah, it's a bit unintuitive.
Yeah.
But in the IndyCar series, generally you have to go when the car ahead of you goes, not when it goes green like in NASCAR.
Yep. Well, we'll take a break real quick from the action and do a bit of a side-by-side as we get a word from Schaeffer's.
There's a company that's cutting our fuel use by up to 5%. But it isn't a solar, wind, or hydro energy startup. It's an oil company, Schaeffer. Their oils are consistently proven to boost efficiency and reduce fuel consumption by up to 5%. When Schaeffer started making lubricants in 1839, they didn't set out to be green. But efficiency has always been part of everything they do. Reduce, rethink, rely on Schaeffer.
And we are back, and we do want to thank Schaeffer Oil. We thank them for their continued multi-season support here of the RIL IndyCar Series. Racing, of course, is in their blood. It's what they love at Schaeffer. Their racing products help racing teams spend less resources on replacing parts and changing fluids, and more time out on the track. Designed for extreme performance, Schaeffer Racing Lubricants reduce friction, wear, and heat. Season after season, racers depend on Schaeffer's racing products to keep their cars always ready for the next race. Check out SchaefferOil.com, where you can search for the nearest retailer in your area, or click on the link in the broadcast description below. Schaeffer's Oil, your series sponsor for the Schaeffer IndyCar Series. And we are under caution here at Homestead Miami Speedway. We're in our 4th caution. We're just talking about this. We're starting to kind of mount up here as a lot of cautions on the racetrack. Hopefully we can get into a good green portion. But watching currently, coming to green now as the pace car lights are out. field is under the command of Caleb Vinci, who has shown really he's been the best driver and race car combo on the track all night long. You saw in that last stint, in that last green, where he just kind of stormed up through that fur ball of traffic back there and worked his way up into the top side of middle portion of the top 10. And then when they had pit stops, he resumes the lead. So right now he's going to have a bit of a buffer between him and series champion Nick Johnston, as they will have Nick Dwornik between them. But that is not a lap car, folks. That is P2. Dwornik has worked his way up here by some savvy staying out and some savvy racing decisions, getting ready to go green, coming down very slowly. And this time, Caleb brings him down slow, but he takes off. He is your leader by 2/10, going to 1-3 wide, going to the 1. Justin Miller.
Still 3 wide. Well,
I'm telling you, after tonight, maybe the new nickname for Justin Miller is 3 wide, because he's been in that situation at least 3 times tonight. Dwornik up on the high side, getting a good run down the front straight. Going to get up, keep the position. Here comes Justin Miller to the inside of your series champion in the 1. I think Johnson has a lot of momentum up top there. And they're clear. Man, this is a guy I want to talk about here. Craig Forsyth up to 7th.
Wow.
I mean, how he managed to get up to 7th and dropped is I really need to talk to this guy. I'm sure he's going to sit there and he's like, I'm amazed myself. I can hear him right now. I'm amazed. I have no idea.
Yeah, because on the Surfer radio, he mentioned how, it's like, oh, I just got this warning on the screen that came up 4 times, and it just went black.
Here's a battle for 10th. Jasper, Miranda, Sanders. Actually, battle for 9th, actually. Christian Jasper are in that. We need to get him in an IndyCar livery. He's in that Team Mercedes Petronas livery, but he's got his own sponsorship on the side there. But he is currently holding down the 10th spot, and Gavin gets a good run on him. Nate Schaeffer gets even a better run on him down low, going to the 1. There's Shane Coogan on the other side of Hunter Ingreb in the 1. Passing all over the place.
Yeah, for certainly in Miami, but not at that racetrack in Miami.
There's Nate Schaeffer, former FIS Series champion, Season 2 Series champion of the FIS. And we're starting to settle into a bit of a normal run here. Brake McClung, Hayden Herman, that driver, currently up to 15th, 16th right here, battle right now. He's trying to look around the unknown driver there. There he is, up high. Good run to the middle of the corner. Wow. I don't know if Herman had to lift a little bit or something, but he got a monster run to the center of the corner. He's in that old Robbie Gordon, Jill DeFerrin livery. Right behind him, the boss man, Matt Houston, 17th. Let's look back up front. Caleb Benty, your leader, by 1.4 seconds over Dwornik. Dwornik has now a battle directly on his doorstep. Here comes Nicholas Johnson on the high side. Going to bring with him Justin Miller. We'll see how this pans out further back. Frankie Franchica up to 5th. Dakota DeMaiden 6th, side by side in the 1. We have battles all over the top 10 right now. Johnson around Dwornik. Move Johnson up to P2. Dwornik down to P3. Now he's under attack from Justin Miller. He's going to lose another position here on this lap. Justin Miller in car, down low, clear of Dwornik. Move Miller up the 3rd.
How can Johnston and Miller close the gap to Bency? They haven't been able to do it earlier on, but maybe this time they can.
Well, Bency has broken the draft, 1.8 up to Bency from Johnston. So Johnson is getting no benefit of the draft. But then again, he also, for him then, if he's not getting benefit of the draft or dirty air, he has clean air now. So he should be able to dictate where he wants his line to be. And he can act as almost like the de facto leader of this group right here. while he tries to run down Caleb. Last time by, Caleb 25.921, Johnson at 25.927. So virtually identical speeds. Not much gain there on that lap for Johnston. And looking in chat, yes, we got a lot of the Bruno Miranda fan club in chat right now. We'll take a look at your man. Go back there. There he is. And we are under caution on the racetrack right now. So what happened again?
It's like, Isidro and McClung.
All right. So Isidro we saw, who is up with the leaders very early, started a great starting spot. We have 4 or 5 cars involved in this one.
Okay, it seems like it was Hayden Herman and McClung going into 1. That seems to be the cause.
Yeah, we'll rewind here. And oh yeah, McClung got a run on the high side. Let's take a look at this here again. Maybe get another angle here if we can as well. Maybe not that angle. This one works. So McClung side by side with Herman in the 1. You can keep low in the 1, but dirty air in front of him causes him push up in the McClung. McClung into the wall. That collects Isidro. We saw James Watson go low. We saw another orange car. Was that Tommy Cook? Tommy Cook kind of got involved. Peter Donchek, I think, was involved as well. Yeah, so we'll get to everything situated here. Everyone pitting. But those top 3 did not stop. So let's reset the field here. We're, I think, on our 6th caution of the day, I think. This is Caleb Benzie, your leader. Been pretty much dominant, the dominant car all day. Nick Johnston, he has been easily the number 2 car. Bruno Miranda, I think, had a dropout, and he is now dropping down. So you got the Bruno Miranda fan club. We might have a, well, maybe he could be as lucky as Craig. But I think Bruno has lagged out, unfortunately. So sorry for the Bruno fan club there. Yeah, quite a few in the quotes there in the fan club there for Bruno. Golden Gooch, more people should work together. Maybe they should bump draft. No, bump drafting in these cars is not advised. Not advised. Stephen Larkamp, my partner on the Monday night broadcast, bump drafting these is certain death, and that is pretty much cutting it straight to the quick there. But Caleb Benzie is now, of course, you're still your leader. He has 36 lap old tires. Nick Johnston right behind him, also at 36 lap old tires. Justin Miller in P3, 36 lap old tires. Then we're on strategy number 2. So we now have another strategy developing where we have Sanders, Coogan, Houston, Flaum, Reese, and Watson. They're all roughly in the same neighborhood when it comes to number of laps on this tires. The least is Watson with 15 laps. Everyone else on 19. And then Dakota on back from DeMade, Franchica, Forsyth, Seifert, Gallus, Engrave, Christian Jasper, the unknown driver, Hayden Herman, Corey Mott, Lusher. All those guys just stopped, so they're on practically fresh tires. So doing the math, we're right about at the halfway point. Actually, we're about there, I think.
Yeah, we are there.
Yeah, 66 laps, 66 and a half laps is halfway, so 67 puts us at the halfway point. Those that just stopped, if they go, let's say that we go green here next lap, so we go green at 69, and let's see, I can clear my memory here. And if they go 45 laps, the minimum, that gets to the 114, and then they can do a splash to the end. But everyone still has, mathematically, I believe, everyone still has another stop they need to go.
Yeah, they have a stop they need to go. you could gamble it, say, just no matter what happens, no matter how many cautions we get, you just stay out. You just stay out until you run the tank dry. Whether we get the checkered flag or not, you don't pit unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah, I agree. I think the three guys up front here have the way to go. They have themselves 37 laps under this current stint. They will probably be pitting just past or right before 100. And then they're on their last stop. So I think track position is the way to go. Here we go. Field's under the command of Caleb once again. As he wait to the restart zone. Oh, wow. They are accordion behind. Justin Miller almost in the back of Nick Johnston. Here comes Shane Coogan to the inside because everyone got all fouled up. To the inside of Gavin Sanders. Side by side in through one and clear Coogan for P4. And there is Caleb trying to break the draft. Oh, down to the high side. Up to the high side, excuse me. It's Johnston. Caleb gives him a little bit of a check. Causes a check up. Johnson up top. Now they're doing the stake down the front stretch. Gavin Sanders 3 wide. Matt Houston, let's go in the in-car, Matt Houston, and just watch this. He's in the best position right now. He's like, you guys go ahead and knock yourselves out.
Literally.
We've seen Matt getting down as low as fourth gear, getting through one and two. Down the fifth gear, down the backstretch, up to six, down the fifth. On the exit of corner number 4, fifth gear, down the front straight. Will he smack 6? We'll see. I don't think so. Stays in fifth. Going to run the high side. Coogan giving back positions to Gavin Sanders now. Caleb pulling away again. We got a battle up front here. Let's go to the in-car of Justin Miller side by side, or at least up to the rear tire of Nick Johnston.
I have no idea how Bensie's getting the car to rotate so well through the corner.
Justin Miller side by side. Just, you don't have the momentum down there to get that pass pulled off. You almost need the driver up top just to lift briefly.
Yeah, you do, because you're pretty much stuck side by side.
And especially he is within the draft window of Caleb, so he is actually getting benefit of that vacuum of air that's behind Caleb's car. It extends that far. And really, if they're just racing each other that hard, they're just right now. I think Justin's just really wearing out his tires. And you might not want to do that when your tires are 43 laps old and you have someone like Gavin Sanders with tires half the age running you guys down. Side by side watching this battle for P2. Watching this battle between Miller and Johnson, just kind of in awe. Both these guys are very aggressive oval racers. Miller going to the high side. Swaps ends that time. So Miller decided that he's going to do the over-under, whoopsie-doo, and is going to try to get him on the high side. We started this race with 33 cars. We're down to 23. Tommy Cook, he stopped into chat here briefly while his car was being fixed, and he apologized for his use of ARCA brakes. It's okay, Tommy. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, it happens. You just need to be aware of the cars around you, not just the ones crashing.
Yep, that's for sure. Always face forward, look ahead. Got to have your head on a swivel here, but you got to be looking at least 2 cars deep here when you're racing the Indy cars, because that's how fast the closing rates are. Justin Miller now trying to get this battle for P2 taken care of. He's momentarily led, or taken the position, but has not controlled it. Here comes Gavin Sanders. Currently showing out of the race, Nicholas Isidro in 24th, Blake McClung, in 25th. Charles Grove, 26th. J.J. Wang, 27th. Rodrigo Munoz in that backfire entry in 28th. Drew White, 29th. Cody Claiborne, 30th. Miglin, 31st. Spath, 32nd. And Cosgrove, 33rd. As I said, 23 cars still running, and Johnston, the pass for Miller was just about completed, but Johnson says, nope, I'm not done with this. Oh, Miller almost up into him. 3 wide coming off the corner. Sanders going to take the position. He had the lift, and that's what going to cost you big momentum. Schaeffer in a battle with DeMade here. This is a battle for 7th. How much momentum Dakota has on the high side there. Just pulls away. Nate's going to have to line him up again. Sanders moving up to P2, getting around Johnston. He's not giving him any draft to go off of. Going to stay down low. Johnston's going to try to get the draft, but it's not going to be enough to pull him along here between 3 and 4. Gavin's going to slide up the racetrack. Take that with a little dirty air. Johnson looking to the inside, going to the 1. And now we swap the position back again. $82 of 133. Here comes Gavin going into 3. Stays low, gets the position. Let's see, are we going to be doing a little swap drafting here? Is that the game we're playing? Yeah, I don't know. It's not going to get close. It does look like Johnson's close enough to swap that if he wanted to, going in the 1. And Gavin actually is putting a little bit of extra distance between himself and Johnson up here for this battle for second. So move Gavin Sanders up 10 spots, up to P2. Nicholas Johnson, P3. Justin Miller, I think, really smoked his tires and is now just kind of hanging on. He is currently P4. Currently P1, P3, P4 are all on 53-lap old tires, so they are probably looking to pit here sometime in the next 10 laps or so, give or take.
And based on the line that Gavin's using, it seems like the low line is the place to be at the moment. The momentum of the high line just isn't what it used to be when the field's packed together and everyone had fresh tires.
There's Shane Coogan moving him up 10 spots to P5. The boss man met Houston in P6. Very quiet race for him, but he's one of the few cars that's remained in the top 10 all race long. Dakota the Maid. Battle again with Nate Seifert for 7. Side by side coming off of 2. Dakota with the momentum going down the back straight, holds off the position. Still up to 7th, staying on the high side. Seifert going to get in a draft. Going to pull down low. We're at the start-finish line. Going to take a peek in the 1 to see if he can get the position this time. Next, Nate Seifert now has the position. Is he going to slide up? Can't quite clear him. And the momentum pulls Dakota the Maid right around again. Side by side going into 3. I think at some point, Nate's going to eventually get this position, but he's going to have to really work at it.
Yeah.
Very quietly moving himself up into 9th, Frankie Franchica. And somehow, against all odds, Craig Forsyth, playing the role of Jacques Villeneuve at the Indy 500, has worked his way up, being a lap down from a disconnect to P10 in this race. There he is in that 4D racewear entry. Also taking a look through the field, Zach Flaum, 11th. Hunter Ingrave there. And that Target CVS Ganassi entry, P12. James Watson started up front. He's down 9 spots, but he's in clean air and pretty much driving a good race, trying to keep clean. He had to go bouncing through the, I think, the turn 2 grass there for a little bit to avoid a wreck, so he might be running with a little bit of damage, but he's hanging on. Caleb Benzie in pit road.
That's interesting because this is the first notable green flag stop of the night.
Yeah. Now, to Caleb's, he had to wait for the fuel. That's what took so long there. Tires can get changed pretty quickly here. He's going to go down a lap. You see the leaders go right by him. He'll rejoin.
Johnston's coming in.
Yeah, and they have to use the entry road off of turn 3, excuse me. Get down to the speed limit. There he is at the cones, those yellow cones. That's where he has to be down to the speed limit on the limiter, and now a seemingly forever roll down to his spot, very, very far down pit road. We watch him coming down for scheduled service. He hits his marks up on the pneumatic jacks. IndyCars all have pneumatic jacks. There's one of the crewmen that puts in a high pressure airline and that causes those to drop. That's how they change the tires. Tires are changed usually with about 5 seconds. It takes a little bit longer for the fuel to go in. He was in the box, Johnston, for 9.5 seconds. Actually, he was in the box a little bit quicker than Caleb, so he might come out in front of Caleb here. We'll see. No, Caleb's already by. But they're going down a lap. Justin Miller led a lap. He's in his stall. He is down and away, full service. So these guys, this is their last stop, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, even if they go the maximum, which is most people like right on 50 laps, but let's say they go 93 plus the minimum 40. Puts them right at 133. So these guys should be good to go to the end. Maybe it's a little bit of savings, but not much. But those 3 drivers are done. They do not have to pit anymore. So now, eyes forward. These guys do not want to get a caution flag here because they're both caught. All 3 of them are caught a lap down. There is Benzie currently in 19th by himself. Johnston by himself as well, 20th. Miller, we were just watching.
Yeah, I think we saw what we normally see at Indianapolis from, well, I normally see it from Nick DeGroot, so I call it the DeGroot strategy, where you pit immediately once you hit the mark where you can make it on the full tank.
Yeah,
just cover off any. Yep,
and you hit it right on the head. That is the DeGroot strategy. If you watch Nick DeGroot, if at any race at Indianapolis with 30 laps to go, he is pitting right there. No questions asked.
Because it takes strategy completely out of your hands. All you have to do just drive.
Drive the car. Yep. So now your leader, Gavin Sanders, who is now 48 laps into his current stint, and we will probably see him pitting within the next 10 laps or so. Shane Coogan right behind him in clean air, so these guys might actually pit sooner than that because they're in clean air. Matt Houston, the boss man, up to 3rd.
Yellow's
out, and that's Christopher Reese. And that is exactly what the leaders did not want to see, but they're going to get the wave around, but they're going to be stuck in traffic.
Oh, this is not the place you want to be stuck in traffic.
Now, was this possibly netcode? He's racing with Hayden Herman, and I'm not sure who the other car he's racing with there. But yeah, that's awful netcode. Awful netcode. But bad timing, though, of the netcode, because those guys are now caught a lap down. And we'll see what happens. Are we going to stay out? Are they going to? Is Gavin going to stay out? Now, you don't have to under caution here. You can pit off of 4, so you do not have to get on the pit road or the pit entry lane in turn 3 and show your intent to pit under yellow. So we'll see what he's coming off the banking. He's going to pit. So new tires for him, Coogan, Houston. Yep, and Caleb's going to stay out. He will get behind the pace car. The thing he doesn't want to do is pass a car here under caution and get a black flag. So he's going to get moved up. So will Johnston. And Justin Miller might get caught out. He has cars in front of him that are not pitting.
Yeah, that is
but they're down. They're down laps, so they might be waiting for. So he has Frankie Franchica showing out. He might have just dropped, or was he the other car involved in that incident? And he might have just dropped. Another casualty of the bandwidth wars going on here. But Bruno Miranda, unfortunately, 3 laps down. Not quite sure what happened to him that caused him to go 3 laps down. Maybe someone in the Bruno fan club there can tell me of what happened to the Storm. As he is
likely was the disconnect from earlier.
Oh, that's right. He had the disconnect from earlier. That's right. Well, I was just talking about it. How soon I forget. There's so much happening in this race. But he is back, so he's going to want to get a wave around too. Justin will get the wave around.
Okay.
Yeah, he will get the wave around. Because right behind him is Gavin Sand. Oh, no. Dornick is the leader. The yellow 84. And so Bruno and Justin are caught behind him.
Yep, Dornick is on timing and scoring as the leader, yeah.
And so there's 2 rules going on here in the RIL as well. RIL does have, as we're on lap 100, 33 to go, RIL does have the lucky dog. So what's going to happen here is that Caleb gets the lucky dog, and then Johnston will get the wave around. And Dwarnick, with 32-lap-old tires, is going to assume the lead of this race. Can he go another 30 laps? I don't think he can. He might be banking on some caution, some strategy. Heck, he's getting some great TV time. Let's take a look at his car. Everyone wave at it. I mean, he has kept his car up there all day long. I mean, he's done what you need to do to keep your car up here on an alternate strategy. He has done it.
So, not to go too off topic here, but this is a strategy that you see in, say, road cycling in the Tour de France, where Dornick's pulling off.
So I think maybe he wanted to get a couple laps led there. So now we will see. Now that frees up Miranda and Miller to possibly get the wave around. So we will see. Yeah, and there they go. They're going to get the wave around. So Justin Miller, I thought for a minute there he was going to be screwed out of that one, and he is going to get the wave around. He's going to rejoin the tail end of the lead lap. If he could, I'd actually think about hitting down pit road and getting a fresh set of tires, but I don't know if he's going to have enough time to do that. But he's going to rejoin the tail end of the field here with 8-lap-old tires. Bruno Miranda going to be on 33-lap-old tires. So Bruno is just trying to hope that he could stay out and maybe collect the multiple cautions here and get a couple of these waiver rounds. But and right now, for that matter, if we get another caution, Bruno is the lucky dog. He will get another lap back if we get another caution. So Bruno is not out of this yet, especially the way the cautions have fallen today. So let's go back up front. We're getting ready to go green. We have 32 laps left here in the race. We're going to go green with 31 left. Gavin Sanders, your leader. Full tank, fresh tires. Shane Coogan, Nate Seifert, Matt Houston, Craig Forsyth, P5.
And the car that's been out front most of the day, Caleb Bensley, 16th.
Yep, Gavin Sanders brings him down very slowly. But he gets himself a good jump, 2/10 of a lead already in the 1 over Coogan. Coogan getting run down now by Seifert. Seifert's going to really take a look on him on the inside going into 3. Oh, he's going to take a look at the outside going to the 3. Coogan cuts up the top side going to the 3.
Oh.
Coogan had to roll out of him because he got the dirty air from Sanders, and that allowed Schaeffer on the other side to go through, get the position, move Schaeffer up to P2. The boss man now P4. Craig Forsyth, we should not forget this man. He dropped. He actually left the race. He left. When they say Elvis has left the building, Craig left the building, actually, and he came back and made it with a lap down, got his lap back, and now he's in currently 5th spot here with the closing stages of this race. Left high and for P6 out of turn 4. Here comes Dakota DeMade with Hunter Ingrave right on his tail.
And further back in the field, Bensie's making his way up. He's fine for 12. He was just in a 3 wide for 12.
Yeah, he realizes he has no time to waste. There's Corey Mott. That's the other car that was involved in that incident, or was in the neighborhood at an incident. He's going to be right there. And Caleb couldn't get any closer, I don't think. Going entry into one right there on the rear attenuator of Mott. Mott holding on, trying to hold on to this position.
Oh, we have battles everywhere, every position, every fight matters.
Well, while we're in this closing stages, we should take a real quick side-by-side break and get another word from Schaeffer's, and we will run this to the end. Stand by. You're watching the RIL Schaeffer IndyCar Series here on Race First.
There's two types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
We're back, and we're watching Craig Forsyth currently in a battle right now with Ingrave and DeMade. But the car that we're really keeping an eye on is Caleb Bensie there on those fresh tires, running down Corey Mott. Got past him. We're under caution again. And again, I'm not seeing where the caution is.
Yeah, this is
Hayden Herman. Hayden Herman, that's a late one. I think there was another caution. We were already cautioned, and something happened to Hayden Herman.
I'm scrubbing through the footage.
Hayden Herman got net coated side checked by Johnston.
Wow.
That's one. I don't know where the other incident happened. Christopher Reese is still on pit road with an extended stop. Peter Donchek, he's on a pit road with an extended stop. Bruno, I don't know what happened. If someone knows what happened, let us know. We'll take a look at it.
Yeah, because the incident between Johnson and Herman was when they were checking up for the yellow.
So, interesting now, I'm not sure how the rule. Hayden Herman now, he's on pit road, so he's under extended stop, so he's going to go down a lap. I think Bruno is going to get past him here. Yeah, Bruno's going to pass him. So, Bruno is actually going to get the lucky dog, and he will now go to being one lap down. And there he goes. He's going to the high side, and he is the lucky dog. So, hope is not out yet for Bruno. And we know how he races. And I'm sure the people in the top 10 are seeing him coming around going, oh, man. Okay, so, and then we also saw Justin Miller on pit road getting new tires. Nick Johnston with an extended stop on pit road. So he might be getting some work done. Not sure what... Keep an eye on Nick Johnson. He is there for a while. He was in pit road he's in his box for 33.4 seconds, on pit road for 57 seconds. So he must have got some damage in that netcode incident. That's going to probably put him down under power.
So from race control, the yellow was thrown by mistake.
Oh. So we had a USAC Texas moment.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
We're going with the debris caution line.
that famous French driver debris.
It's like It's like, it happens to the best of us. Race control isn't always perfect. Sometimes human error can change the outcome of a race.
That is a free lap for Bruno Miranda. That is a free lap for Bruno Miranda. Bruno Miranda is telling everybody, thank you for hovering over that yellow button and hitting it. Here comes the unknown driver. Oh, no, that's Bruno Miranda. Bruno Miranda actually stopped. And he topped off new tires, everything, after getting the wave around. So he's good to go to the end, but he's still a lap down. And the way that we've raced, guys, we could see another yellow. It's not over yet. It is not over yet.
We've been averaging a caution every 10 to a dozen laps?
Yeah,
we still got time left.
We still got time, fellas. So let's reset the field here as we're getting to the closing stages here of the Schaeffer IndyCar Series with the RIL here at Homestead Miami Speedway. And their opening round of the 2022-2023 winter season. Gavin Sanders, your leader. Nate Seifert, P2. Shane Coogan, P3. The boss man, Matt Houston, P4. Craig Forsyth, Divine, all the odds after getting dropped, rejoining the race, getting a wave around, getting back on the lead lap as in P5. Hunter Ingrave with a great race here. Currently P6. Dakota DeMaid started on the pole, but he's stayed up at the top 10 all day today. He is in P7. James Watson's recovered a little bit. He's back up at the top 10. He's currently P8. Zachary Flaum, good race for him in 9th. Hugo Gallas, again, showing that he's not the best oval racer, but he's showing a good showing tonight. He is up to 10th there in that NTT Data IndyCar livery. Right behind him, though, this is where all eyes are being focused, is Caleb Binsey. He has been the car really in command all day today, and unfortunately a bad yellow has caused him to, an untimely yellow has caused him to be deep in the field, along with Nick Dwarnick, Christian Jasper, Corey Mott, Justin Miller. Corey Mott and Miller have fresh tires, and we're getting ready to go green, I believe. Yep, here we go. Everybody from Mott on back. That's Mott, Miller, Johnston, Lusher, Miranda, Donchek, even though Donchek's down a couple of laps. Everybody has fresh tires. Neil Lusher, the last car to lead lap 17th. And here we go, starting the snake. Gavin Sanders, your leader by 3/10 going in the 1.
And before we even get to 1, Caleb Bensley's in the top 10.
Yeah, Caleb didn't want to waste any time. No time. There's no time to waste here. And he's on the same pit strategy as these cars in front of him, so his tires are the same set of tires.
20 to go.
20 to go on the inside of Zach Flaum. And getting the position moves is Caleb Binsey up to 9th. Hunter Ingrave now up to 5th. Side by side with the boss man. We're still watching this battle develop.
Gavin Sanders starting to pull away from the field, and I see a car on the verge of going a lap down. Yeah, that was Johnston out back on the track after serving a penalty.
Oh, so he served the penalty? Okay. He's still on the lead lap. Last time by Johnson at 25.5. To Gavin 25.5. So really, I mean, he is every bit as fast. I'm not sure. He must have got a penalty speeding down pit road or something. I didn't think he was in the box for 40 seconds.
It looked like a drive-through.
Okay, so he still stopped and get service or something. Was it a 20-second hold, a 26-second hold if it's a drive-through and you stop or something? I don't know. I can't remember.
It is with the AI penalty system. I don't know what penalty they manually gave him.
Hunter Ingrave, side-by-side battle with the boss man Matt Houston going down the backstretch. Houston maintains 5th. Here comes Dakota DeMaid to the low line, slowly working his way up the progressive banking. And now trying to reel in Ingrave in the inside again on Houston, going into 1. I think this time he might get it. Matt's got a good run, though, off the high side. Comes down the banking to use the momentum. Still side by side. I think Dakota might try to follow him through if that's what he wants to do. Thinking of 3 wide, possibly? Look at Bruno Miranda back there further. He was 3 wide just a second ago, and now he's every bit of using those fresh tires. He's a lap down on the field, but he wants to move as far. He needs to gain as much track position as possible. That's really the thing for him.
Yeah, and get as much track position as possible, because if the caution comes out, maybe the leaders decide to pit, and you just hope.
13 to go. 120 of 133. Gavin Sanders, your leader by 2 seconds. I mean, that's an eternity. That's the biggest lead we've seen all day today.
Yeah. Who knew? Gavin Sanders in clean air. Unbeatable.
There's Nate Schaeffer in P2. Shane Coogan in P3. Craig Forsyth with the impossible mission. Currently in P4. Matt Houston side by side. This Hunter Ingrave-Houston battle has been going on all stint long.
I mean, as a viewer, it's one of the things I love about Homestead, that it's very hard to get clear of someone once you get side by side in some circumstances.
Oh, here comes Justin Miller. Justin Miller is around James Watson, and now he's up into the top 10. He's in 9th. He still has time, but it's running out. This battle, Houston-Ingram battle, continues to rage on.
And slowly, but surely, Caleb Bensley creeping up to them.
It used to be back in the day, back to the older scan of this track. This is an updated scan of this track. There was a pretty bad bump off of turn 2 that would upset these cars a lot, and that's gone. But if you're set up with too much weight jacker and you're too low on corner exit off of 1 and 2, the back end tends to want to get light on you, and see a lot of those guys down low fighting that battle, especially they come off the banking.
I do miss the bump, though.
You missed the
bump? If you didn't have the steering dead center when you hit that bump, you were going into the inside wall.
Dakota with the slide job on Ingrave. Moved Dakota up to 6. I think Ingrave used what was left of his good on his tires by running that low line, trying to pass Houston. Houston, to his credit, remained patient, stayed on the high line Ingrave!
I think they touched.
If they didn't, that was really close. And now here comes Caleb, 3 wide. Three wide again, unwise Grasshopper. Here we go, into 1, 3 wide. Caleb Bensley down low. Now will his teammate let him on the high side, let him go. At this point in the race, he might not let him go as easy.
Yep, still side by side going into 3.
Knowing these two, they're probably laughing hysterically on their team channel as they're racing each other, getting the slide job on Dakota. Move Caleb up to 6th. Now he's gonna stalk the boss man, and will the boss man let him on by easily?
Oh, I don't think Houston is.
And he just continues to hold his line. 7 laps to go. I don't think there's enough time. There's Gavin Sanders, leader by 3 seconds. Nate Schaeffer right there. He has himself about a second lead over Coogan. Coogan has himself a second lead over Forsyth. So we're really starting to break in the groups here. Right now we're watching this battle for a top 5 spot. Caleb and the boss man. And Caleb almost was able to clear it. I can hear Matt. Not today, Caleb. Not today. Not today. Side by side. That'll make a good team picture right there.
What?
Down the front straight. In the 1 still side by side. 5 laps to go. Gavin Sanders, unless there's a caution, has this thing pretty well sewn up. Oh, Matt Houston with the swapperoo.
Oh, you got 5th and 6th. You don't want to go home empty-handed.
All right, remember rule 1 of racing your teammate, boys, even though we don't have teammates here in the RIL. And again, you heard my hanging quotes. Teammates. And
IndyCar doesn't have a team championship either.
And there goes Caleb Binsey on the high side. Give fifth to Caleb Binsey. Meanwhile, up front, coming to 3 to go, here's Gavin Sanders. Just needs to click him off, hit his spots, make no mistakes, and he's got this in the bag for yet another RIL win.
Yeah, like I said earlier, it was all going to be about being ahead when that last pit stop caution came out, and Gavin was lucky enough to be in that position, and he capitalized on it.
Yeah, he's had him in the late stage of this race. He's had the car to beat. Early on, it was Caleb. Caleb now trying to get the Forsyth. I don't think he's going to get the Forsyth before this is out. 2 to go. Gavin down the backstretch here at Homestead Miami Speedway in through 3 and 4. Coming to the white flag here. White flag in the air for Gavin Sanders. In through 1, right down to the white line, nice and easy. He's a car length off the bottom line, staying up above that seam. Corner exit pretty clean. Off of 2, down the backstretch. Lining up for turn 3.
Just needs to bring it home.
Again, about a car width off the bottom, staying off that seam, off of corner number 4. And Gavin Sanders, he wasn't the best car all day, but it was the best car that counted as your winner at Homestead Miami Speedway. Nate Seifert, P2. Shane Coogan, P3. And coming through with the impossible mission, Craig Forsyth finishing 4th. Wow. Caleb Binsey, the best car all day, finishing 5th. But your defending champion, Nicholas Johnston, who I believe, he has taken the checkered flag, is going to come home 17th. Not a good day for starting off the first race of the new campaign to defend your title. So he will definitely be one to watch at COTA when we move to that as our next race here next week.
Up heavy is the car that carries the one.
It is a burden. It is a burden. Well, let's take a look at today's final standings here from the Homestead Miami Speedway here in the RIL Schaeffer's IndyCar Series. Gavin Sanders, yet another RIL win, is your winner. Nate Seifert, a solid P2 here. Good start to the championship for him. Shane Coogan, he has really been on a roll for the better part of the last 9 months or so. Of course, getting crowned the Rookie of the Year over in the Lionheart Series sure helps. Momentum coming into the RL, finishes 3rd. Craig Forsyth, again, with the impossible mission there, finishing 4th. Caleb Binsey, 5th. Hunter Ingrave with a great race in 6th. Matt Houston, the boss man, in the top 10 all day in 7th. Dakota DeMade, 8th. Justin Miller just ran out of time there, really, P9. James Watson, good finish for him in 10th. Your top 15, Flaum, Gallas with a good finish there for not being an oval guy, gets a top 15. Dwornik, good debut for him, 13th, but he was up at the front an awful lot. Corey Mott, 14th. Neil Lusher in 15th. Christian Jasper, 16th. Nick Johnson, at this point, 17th finish. Bruno Miranda, I would say he's probably disappointed with the 18th as well. Hayden Herman, 19th. Don Check, 20th. Francisca Reese, Cook, and Isidro and McClung, your top 25. Your top 30, Grove, White, Munoz, Wang, and Claiborne. We're not done yet because we had 33 cars take the green flag. Miglin, Spath, and Cosgrove. Everybody from 34th on back, a DNQ. Better luck next week, hopefully. Woo. Well, it took us a while. But we ended strong there on a good last stint run there, I would say, under green. But it was, like you mentioned, a kind of a stop-and-go, herky-jerky race we had until finally these guys just got everything under themselves and started racing. I'm guessing just because the dirty air was a lot less prevalent as we started to get attrition out there.
Yeah, sort of the cars that would have caused the cautions got weeded out. And we just had longer runs, and due to the differing strategies, some of the faster cars got shifted to the back, so we got to see a lot more passing. All in all, great way to open the season.
It is, and we got some interviews to do. Let's bring up Shane Coogan. Hey, Shane, welcome to the booth. Excellent podium. I was telling everybody on the broadcast here, you've kind of been on a bit of a roll the last 9 months, kind of kind of topping it all off with the Speedway Series Rookie of the Year and the Lionheart Series there. Yep. So you got Rookie of the Year, kind of on a roll, worked your way up to third here, worked your way up 12 spots. I always known you as kind of the Oval Meister anyways. I've always known that Homestead is one of your better places. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. It was pretty fun, honestly. I mean, before we were kind of chatting before the race, and we're like, we're not sure if we can really race or pass, but I knew that I had to do something out there. So yeah, just kind of usual business and business as usual, as you might say. And it was playing the pit strategy a little bit, got some positions at the start, and it was one of those deals where you could make some moves once the tires came in for a few laps, and then you just kind of had to settle in, try not to make a mistake. But it was so tricky on like the first couple laps, when the tires were cold, turn 3 and 4, if you just got out of the groove just a little bit, you were like, hanging on. So it was, that part of it was kind of fun. So you really had to be up on the wheel. But yeah, I always enjoy this place.
Ryan, you got anything?
Probably my one question I have for you is, how much were you thinking about pit strategy during this race? Because it seemed like for the cars that ended up at the front in the top 5, that was the key for them to be in that position to capitalize and get strong finishes.
Yeah, I mean, you just said it there, Ryan. That was kind of my only real card to play, because I was kind of like 10th, 12th thereabouts, but the cycle fell, our way. I knew I wanted to just do it on 2 stops, and there were some cautions early. So I knew when people ducked in there a little bit early, it would come back and pay back later. So great racing, up front, Gavin, Nate there, and all the race first guys. It's always a good time over there. And yeah, we'll just try to keep it rolling here.
Well, good start to the season for you, continuing that big momentum on the Coda next. Any shout outs anyone to say hi to? I know you do.
Oh yeah, family, friends, for sure. Anybody watching. Shout out to my friends over in GDC. We've been doing some endurance, sports car stuff, Suzuka, Spa, and I think that's kind of helped me over here on the IndyCar side. So shout out to those guys. They helped me a little bit with the Open Wheels 500, and I'm going to do another 500 miler this weekend. So just enjoying the IndyCar right now, and yeah, shout out to family, friends, everybody helping out, Western Waves Media, Raceverse, and thank you guys for doing the broadcast. So it's really cool.
No, that's right. I forgot about the Open Wheels finish. You had a great was a top 10 there. So, and we know how competitive that field was. So a great, certainly last couple months for you, on top of kind of the last 9 months, kind of starting off with momentum in the Lionheart Series. But congrats, man! And I really hope. I'm thinking this might be a good season for you. I think we're going to see. We're going to be talking to you a lot, and we're going to be seeing a lot of you on the broadcast.
Yeah, I sure hope so. I think lately I've tried to kind of change my mindset a little bit behind the wheel, and just try to have fun and make high percentage moves and try to be there at the end. And yeah, we'll see where it goes. You need a little bit of luck, but we'll take a top 3 any day of the week. So
well, there you go. Shane Coogan finishing 3rd tonight here at Homestead. We'll see you next week at Coda.
See you guys. Thanks.
And we're going to bring up Nate Seifert. Hey, Nate, familiar position for you. Another podium here in the RIL. Congratulations, having the white car tonight. That's my favorite looking car, by the way, of yours. But tell us about your race. You kind of started deep in the field, worked your way up, had some help with pit strategy, and got yourself a second step on the podium.
I started last, Gary. I started last on the field. That's as deep as you can go.
Why was the last there? Because I know you was it a carryover penalty? I don't remember any penalties that were being issued.
It was because I'm an idiot and I made the bet that rain was coming. And as we know, rain didn't come. I'm a man of my word. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? I will. And the agreement was I will take an EOL for this race and FIS Chicago. Everyone who knows me knows how much I hate that track.
I don't blame you.
And so that is why I started from the back. Anyway, about my race. It was a decent race, a lot of traffic. I'm sure, as you guys noted, Dirty Air was really, really terrible.
Oh, it looked awful, man. It looked awful.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was in it all night long. I was able to find certain techniques and lines that helped a lot. I was either running the top or the bottom, and it's just a matter of how you put the nose into the air. So some people really could do it well. Other people had some difficulties, you could tell. But overall, I thought that was a pretty strong suit tonight. I could pass if there's a little traffic in play. When it was 1 or 2 cars, it was a lot harder. I think I spent probably 20 laps trying to pass Dakota. I only had 1 car, so
yeah.
But yeah, otherwise it was difficult to pass, but it was pretty fun at the same time.
Ryan, you got anything?
I'd say it. Not really covered everything. It's like the one thing that I like to always mention about Homestead that I don't normally mention on the air is that me and some of my other friends have a term for the big aero wash that we see at places like this in the IndyCar and iRace. We call it sewage air because the air is that dirty.
I mean, it was, if the car was positioned incorrectly, yeah, it was terrible. But if you were able to get the car a certain way, it wasn't as bad. So I think if you were able to do it right, it was pretty decent.
Okay.
Well, we know you got shout-outs. Of course, you got that big sponsor on the side, Midwest Kidney Warriors. So give them a shout, and all your fans and friends at home that are watching, P2 tonight definitely earned it.
Yeah, I'll start with you guys. Thank you guys for being at the booth. Can't wait to watch this back. It should be pretty fun to watch. Want to thank the admin group as well for allowing us to race together. Thank all TWR. Great group of guys. I think great runs overall. James had his best ever qualifying. I think here he had a top 10 night. I think.
Yep, he did.
And some other people they kind of got the short end of the stick. But overall, I thought it was a pretty decent night. And then, of course, want to thank my main sponsor, the Midwest Kidney Warriors, for all their support towards me. They advocate to find living donors for those currently needing a life-saving transplant and are also a mentor for those currently on dialysis. So their website, of course, is the MidwestKidneyWarriors.com. If you're considering donating any type of organ, I would strongly encourage you to check them out.
Well, there you have it. Congratulations on the second step, moving off to the road course, which we know is one of your strengths. Next week at COTA, we'll see you there, but a great start to the season.
Yay, COTA. Yeah.
Okay, he doesn't sound like he likes it too much. I don't blame him. Have a good one, Nate. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Ryan.
All right, let's bring up my man Gavin Sanders. Gavin Sanders here in the booth. Gavin, man, you didn't have the best car all day. I'm going to say it right now. Caleb had the best car all day. But you had, in true Rick Mears fashion, had the car best when it counted as you were pulling away there at the end. And really, I mean, a leader by 3 seconds. I mean, that's about as dominant of an oval win as we've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, no, I think the setup tonight lended its hand to that. It was good, stable, proper, good for this track. Obviously, it's not known for its side by side unless you're side by side for multiple rows behind a car. But if you're in clean air, it gets pretty strung out. But yeah, definitely not the fastest car, I'd say. Just pitting at the right times and maybe picking the correct cautions to sort of put myself in a position to not get caught out by anything crazy, such as anybody losing it on the pit access lane or anything like that. Just being safe, right?
Right.
At the end of the day, that's all that matters, and we managed to win. So I'm happy about it, especially after Daredevil. It's really nice.
Of course, you go watch the Daredevil races there on Turn 200, where you got a couple wins, but a couple of them you ended up on your lid.
Oh yeah.
So at least you're on your lid here. Ryan, you got any questions for him?
One question I have. One thing I noticed about you, Gavin, and also Caleb, and a couple of guys who had the opportunity to get into clean air, either through being in the lead or just having a big enough gap to the second car. One thing about you and Caleb, you were able to get your cars rotate around the corner far better than anyone else. And that was part of the reason why you were able to get such a large gap. Was there any particular way that you were driving the car to get the car to rotate?
I would say in clean air, we're definitely in terms of when the team sort of shares sort of bar settings or weight check or anything, it's definitely a yaw positive setting, I'll say, especially for clean air. So we're definitely pushing the limits and trying to keep the rears sliding and off the fronts and keep the temps down as much as possible. So I think that really helps, especially here. It'll help at Motegi and it might help at Darlington as well. But Yeah, no, it's definitely just down to sort of being comfortable sliding the car a little bit, not necessarily being locked down and even having to lift for these corners. So it was solid that way, and yeah, big gaps if you were able to keep your tires cool off the restarts.
Well, shout outs. I know you have them. You definitely earned them. Go right ahead and take all the time you need.
Big shout out to Team Racefirst, obviously. Sunset Arctic Graphics, buy EchoBlade on Steam. Thanks to Dakota for making my epic paints. And yeah, big shout out to you guys for doing an awesome broadcast. And I'm just excited that this league's back in action.
And I think this might be win number 10, career win number 10 for you here in the
Nice.
RIL. So that's 3 behind Caleb. And unless I'm looking at the stats now, unless Chris Christopher Kresge has already updated everything. It shows you with 9 wins. I believe this is your 10th.
This would be 9. He's updated.
Okay, so he just updated. So it's your 9th
Yeah.
win. So you're only 4 behind Caleb. So he's within reach.
We're getting there.
All
Yeah.
right.
Slowly but surely.
The battle's on more way than one on Team Racefirst
my
and the
gosh.
RIL, but congratulations. We will see you at COTA, which is a place I'm sure that I don't know how you feel about COTA, but I'm sure you probably do pretty well there, being that the Roadmeister is definitely the inner Gavin Sanders there.
Yeah, we'll hopefully have a good race. I've been partial to the track, but it'll produce something fun at least. So
Something fun, right? Well, congratulations on the win. We'll check you later, man, and go enjoy it.
appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right. All right. So, I didn't bother to think about this track being a good warm-up for Darlington, but it might be, actually, if you think about it. If you go here, then to Motegi, and then Darlington, I would guess those 2 tracks are pretty much this track, and then Motegi would be a good warm-up track for Darlington. But that's later in the season, and that's going to be, besides the madness that we're going to see at Talladega mid-season, the Darlington race could be any number of things happening there.
I'd say it'll teach you all the tools you need in terms of, say, car dynamics and getting the car around, say, 2 different, asymmetric oval.
Right.
But the one thing that you're not going to be able to prepare for Darlington is how narrow the corners are.
Yeah, and they're kind of narrow here, and that's especially when you're dealing with the dirty air. It just makes these. It looks like there's 3 lanes and 3 different types of banking, and still find a way into the wall here at Homestead. But it took a while to get racing, but once we got racing, the racing was pretty decent there toward the end. Fortunately, a little strategy play kind of backfired in the face of Caleb and Justin and Nick Johnston, the defending champion, but. All in all, I think the guys that have been running up front all day finished up front all day with you. And I didn't really know that we could have starting positions based upon bets. So maybe we'll see more of that going forward. But your final thoughts on tonight?
Oh, great way to start the season. Completely unpredictable throughout.
Well, that pretty much hits the nail on the head. So that's it for tonight, folks. Once again, your podium from Homestead, Gavin Sanders with his 9th win in the RIL. Nate Seifert on the podium. He likes those podiums. He's racking those numbers up a lot. And Shane Coogan, watch this guy. He might be the sleeper on the season. He finished 3rd. And I really wish Craig Forsyth was in that I could bring him up to chat. I would love to talk to him and get his reaction. The first thing I'm doing as soon as I'm getting done here, I am going to go send this man a message and get his reaction of this race. I'm sure it is something priceless. But that is your podium for tonight, is Sanders, Seifert, and Coogan. Join Racefirst again next week for round 2 of the winter 2022-2023 season of the Schaeffer IndyCar Series, as the series moves to COTA for our first road course race of the season. That's next Wednesday with the start time of roughly around 7:45 Eastern time right here on YouTube at youtube.com/racefirst. That's 7:45 p.m. We can race in the morning if you want to, but I don't think a lot of people will be racing or watching. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support Racefirst with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below to let us know about tonight's race. And if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video, just like this. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Here it is. Thumbs up. The algorithm monster loves that. That's the best way you can help us if you're already a subscriber. But if you're not, if you're new, click subscribe and why you gotta hit the bell for weekly reminders so you don't miss out more Race First other iRacing programming, including Season 1 of 2023 coverage of the official iRacing Fixed IndyCar Series Top Split on Mondays and the official iRacing Indy Open Series IndyCar Series Top Split on Saturdays. That's all right here on Race First. Make sure to subscribe and notify. Otherwise, you might lose track of time. We don't want to miss you, do we? Keep your browser set here for the most in-depth IndyCar knowledge on all of iRacing. Race First, we know what Indy means. Revolution Indy League Revolution Indy League IndyCar Series naming rights paid for by Schaeffer Oil. Racing's in their blood. It's what they love. At Schaeffer, their racing products help produce with their racing products helps racing teams spend less resources on replacing parts and changing fluids and more time out on the track. Check out SchaefferOil.com where you can research for the nearest retailer today and click on their link in the broadcast description below. For business inquiries and learn more about Race First and what we do, visit racefirst.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. You can follow Race First, myself, and Ryan all right here as our stuff races in at the bottom. There it is. Race First, myself, Ryan. Add us on Twitter. We would be happy to talk to you. So, for Ryan Eric King, everyone at Race First, I'm Gary Gotson saying all thanks for watching, and all the men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Thanks again. Happy holidays, everyone. Catch us next week for round 2 at the Circuit of the Americas for the next race of the Revolution Indy League Schaeffer's IndyCar Series. Good night.